Hello. This video I am going to demonstrate coincidence rangefinders and rangefinders of different types, just to show what they can do. First thing we're going to need is an AI mainframe. As this is only a demo, I'm not going to place this thing in a hidden location. I'm going to put it on the top. I'm going to put a transmitter on the mainframe so that we don't have to attach it directly to anything. Okay, so at the moment we currently have 2 units of processing power. Processing power is pretty useful if you want to do detections for AI. You can increase the amount of detection power you've got by using general processing cards. General processing cards must be connected to I believe they must be connected to a connector, or I don't think they need to be connected to a card slot. Let me just check. Yeah, just a connector or the mainframe. So I'm going to stick one on the back of the mainframe. I'm going to create a connector on each side of the mainframe, and I'm going to add another 2. So now our mainframe has a total of 5 units of processing power. Currently got no detectors and no trackers, and it's running at maximum detection. Basically nothing at all. Okay, so there's 2 ships here. They are both identical. They're both my SS Blackpool. So what we're looking to do here is be able to detect the ship in front without actually moving, and we want to see what sort of level of range we can detect things well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build a mainframe, connector, sorry, near the front, but not at the front. And on this I'm going to place some detection equipment. So I'm going to start with the coincidence rangefinders, because these are probably the ones you're most likely going to be using on your vehicle to do close shooting. Other ones could be for longer distances or other particular specialisms, but the coincidence ones I would particularly use first. So I'm going to start with the standard 5 meter. There's 2 sets. There's nothing different between the 5 rangefinder and the 5 armoured, except for the armour level. So the rangefinder standard comes with 7 armour, and the rangefinder armoured comes with 12. That's an increase of 5. So the 9 goes up to is 9 and 7 again, and 9 is 12 there. So your amount of armour is exactly the same across the board if it's armoured or non-armoured, but obviously armoured gives you more. I'm going to use the non-armoured ones for demonstration purposes. So I have placed this on here. It says the line of sight out of the vehicle is blocked. Okay, so if we have a look at the block, we can see that the rear of this is the back of this, so that now makes it the front. So I'm going to remove this and reconnect another one on top. Now we've got a line out of the front. These have to have line of sight out of the vehicle, or else they will not detect anything. Okay, so it's not tracking anything because it's not connected to a mainframe. We need to connect it to a mainframe now, so all we need for this is a receiver. Note, if you connect the mainframe directly via connectors, it will work. So now this is connected, we're receiving from here. That means the rangefinder is working, and it's detected the SS Blackpool in front of it with a 100% chance. That's pretty useful considering it's pretty close. So what does this mean? Well, that means it's detected it. That doesn't mean it can track it. So what do I mean by tracking? Well, as we can see here, it says we have, which I don't believe, 0 detectors, 0 are trackers. So I somehow don't believe that, but we'll go with it for the minute. This says it's currently tracking one target. Yeah, no, I don't think so. So what we need to track, well, we can use the radar gimbal. It's a tracker. We can use a radar 360. It's useful. We can use radar 90, or we can use a passive radar. So all of these, so the radar, these bottom ones are all classified as active, and active basically means you need but active basically means you can be detected by certain missiles or certain things that are looking for radar signals, basically things that are detecting. So use the passive ones if you want, use the active ones if you want, it's up to you. It depends on what you're up against. I'm going to use an active one now. So I'm going to replace our rangefinder with this. And you can see it's now tracking the target with a detection chance of about 50%. It says line of sight is backwards out of the vehicle. Oh, no, line of sight is backwards out of the vehicle is blocked. Yeah, that's because the vehicle's in the way. So if I now go back over here to our mainframe, I think there may be a bug here, because this should tell you, and it's not. So if I put another one on top, and then look at the mainframe itself, so we now say it's got one detector, of which 0 are trackers. Detectors and trackers need 1.5 powers in total. So that suggests it's a detector, not a tracker. 53% chance of detection with a 360. So let's show you what the 90 does. So as you can see, the rear is, that's interesting, is indicated nowhere at all really, but it does tell you what it is. So it says line of sight out of the vehicle is clear. It says it's got no targets to track, so I suspect it's not the front. My thoughts are, so I don't use the 90 degrees very often. Line of sight is enabled, and there we go. So there we go. This particular unit section is the detector. Now you can see we've got back to 100% again. So a 90 degree one is better than a 360 degree one. Same range, same everything, and that's a detector. It's best to use a range of every type of detector and rangefinder. So a rangefinder would determine how what the range is, obviously. It makes it easier to hit a target. A radar detector will detect a target. It will say, hey, there's a target here. And it will produce a range as well, but doesn't necessarily work in the same way. What else we got? Sonar. So sonar, underwater detection. I'm not going to demonstrate that because this is above water. I'm going to do the IR camera and the camera 360 and the retroreflection just for demonstration purposes. So the IR camera is an infrared camera. So if I place that there like that, you see it's placed an infrared pointing directly at it, which is detected at 100%, which is good. And this still doesn't recognise it. So there, I definitely believe I found a bug here. Okay, let's get rid of the IR and let's put in a camera. So there we go, it's detected it, the camera's picked it up, 90 degrees again, still nothing there. And the last one on this list is the Retroreflection Sensor. So I've stuck that down, it says it can't look out backwards. Okay, so what does a retroreflection sensor do? Okay, well let's say your target's using radar. This detects it based on their own radar systems. So this doesn't require you to have a radar system. This will detect and report positioning based on your enemy's radar. Lastly, let's just look at the passive radar. Has the passive radar picked anything up? Not really. It works in a similar way to the retroreflection one. Similar to the passive sonar. Lastly but not least, the wireless snooper. Here's the wireless snooper. So what does the wireless snooper do? Well, it detects any signals and it goes, okay, that's where the target is. So this is using a wireless receiver, therefore this will detect the wireless signal. Could be helpful if you're trying to take out the mainframe. The Gimbal Tracker. Now, interestingly, the Gimbal Tracker is one that goes round and round in circles. It says it's not tracking anything. Hasn't picked it up. Oh, now it has. Now it hasn't. It's because the Gimbal Tracker is supposed to be going round in circles. It is moving, but it isn't moving. So it goes round, detects it, and stops going round. Yet another bug in the game by the looks of things. So let's come out of build mode just so we can check. Okay, so it's not spinning, it's found it, and it's gone again. So this is struggling to keep the target, which is true because obviously when you've got a spinning thing like that you're not likely to keep it. So what would be the best thing to have? Well, it's completely up to you. Oh, I haven't tried out the laser one. Let's try that one. Tracks already detected targets and provides more accurate range information. Well, okay. So we know that the Radar 90 wasn't very powerful, so let's stick one of them on. And this is locking on, and now it's gained it at 100%. It's gone again. So that's able to detect it now. But this isn't. However, it has boosted this, which is quite amazing, really. So I'm going to try one more thing. I'm going to go up with a couple of connectors. I'm going to bring out our detection equipment again. And I'm going to load up the laser finder again. And attach a radar to the front of this, like so. So it's 97% detection, 100%. Okay, what's this doing? Well, the laser rangefinder is now at a decent height. It's actually above it. So this shows that the bow of the ship was actually preventing it from getting a proper lock on. This on its own only gets 97% to 100%. Without that, 93. So you can see it's got a much lower chance of having an 100% detection. However, height has helped. So with most radar equipment you want to be higher rather than lower. That's pretty much it when it comes to detectors. I haven't shown the laser warner or the munition warner. I have never put one in place to get them working yet, but this does require you firing at targets, or them firing at you rather, for this to work. You use these in conjunction with the block that you can get inside a missile, or the part of the missile, shall I say, which, where is it? Missiles, controller, launch pad, gantry, Q. So the one you need for this would require you to use missile interceptor. So the missile interceptor would get it from the AI warning cameras, as it says here. Targets a single missile at a time. So that basically means you want to set up a load of individual missile controllers with individual missile interceptors, because one would be sending a whole bunch of missiles at one thing otherwise. Obviously you can't intercept a laser, but you can get a laser warner. I've never used the laser warner either, but I'm guessing you can use it to attach it to a PID to change how different systems work. Let's put back the detection equipment, coincidence rangefinder, and I'll just show you the largest one. So this is actually my favourite piece. It's facing the wrong way. No, it's not. It's facing the right way. This can make a boat look really cool if you place it in the right place. It does not have to be attached to AI if you want to add it as a miscellaneous feature. So, for example, there, I can do that, and the boat does look quite cool. It looks like it's got wings. Which you do find on some vehicles, even domestic vehicles. So, I hope this tutorial has been useful. It's all about well, detection through AI. This is probably the thing you require the most when you're creating an AI weapon system, excluding the actual weapon and weapon controller. Just remember, you're going to need general purpose cards. This isn't detecting them correctly, but they are being used. I wonder if it's been reported as a bug. I'll have to check. Anyway, thanks for watching.